Welcome to Marketing with Confidence. I'm your host, Marianne Amies. We're going to be talking all things digital and online marketing for business owners and marketing professionals. If you've been feeling overwhelmed by your digital marketing, be sure to listen along and you'll hear tips, interviews and more that will give you the confidence to create marketing you love. Welcome back to another episode of Marketing with Confidence. I'm really excited today to be joined by Jenny De Lacy, and we're going to be talking all about confident content. Thanks for joining me, Jenny.
Oh, you're welcome. It's great to be here. Finally, we've juggled life and kids and all sorts of other things to finally get here.
I'm really looking forward to it. I'd love to hear from you first. Tell us about yourself and how you became so passionate about helping business owners to get their message right.
I've had 30 years as a consultant in my career, and 2/3 of that was in learning and development. So working with internal stakeholders and learners and getting the message right to help people, I guess, learn something, but also change something, because it was usually in change management projects. And then the last 10 years in digital marketing, I think for me, they're very similar. Marketing is just another way that we use words and messages to influence people to make a change or make decisions, click a button, sign up for something. They're very, very similar to me. And so it's always for me been about, how do you get your message right? How do you say the right stuff?
Yeah.
To help the people that you're trying to influence the most.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think coming from that learning and development space and kind of understanding human nature, understanding what motivates people, that is definitely a huge intel to bring into marketing for sure.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And it's been really funny over the years. I've not been particularly confident to maybe call myself a marketer or say that I was an expert in marketing, but it's been 10 years. Yes, I am. That's fine. And I let the people that are really good at the things that I don't like doing in marketing do their thing. And I think that's really important too.
Yeah. 10 years is a long time. And I think there's a lot of people that, marketing has many pathways into it. And especially now with social media and digital marketing, I think there's a lot of people that come into the world of the doing of marketing with maybe not understanding the foundations of marketing and have no problems in calling themselves a marketer. So I think,
Yeah, that's so true. I always felt a bit of imposter syndrome about not having, an advertising background or, but you're absolutely right. It didn't occur to me that, of course, lots and lots of people come into marketing now through completely different channels that compared to 10 years ago. Yeah, absolutely spot on.
Absolutely. Well, look, to get to know you a little bit more, I've got some fast fire questions. So we'll kick those off. So the first one is coffee or wine?
Probably wine. I do have coffee, but if I forget to have coffee, I don't sort of miss it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I would probably say I'm wine over coffee,
And then what about with reading? Do you like to read for pleasure or for development?
Mostly development. I would say it's been a really long time since I read a novel, but in January I picked up Richard Osman, The Thursday Murder Club.
Oh, yeah.
And I read all four of them. I read all four of them in probably 2 weeks or something.
Oh, wow.
And I'm really glad I did. It was just a lovely, lovely start to the year just to read fiction again. I really, really enjoyed it. Normally I wouldn't. I'm very for development.
I find that series quite an easy read, and it's quite, I think, really, I guess, fun characters, different characters, not the same sorts of characters that are painted in so many books as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what about beach or bush?
I like looking at the ocean and listening to the ocean. I don't like the sand and I do not like being in seawater. But I like looking at it. Whereas I find, rivers and sort of mountainy and landscape more appealing.
Yeah,
probably
for sure.
than, I'd say mountain over beach probably for me, maybe not bush.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the sand, if they could come up with, sandless beaches, especially when you go through having kids, and that would be lovely. I mean, there's all the Pebblestone beaches overseas, but they've got their own challenges as well. They're not the most comfortable beaches to go to either. But yeah, I can appreciate that point of view. And then finally, Instagram or LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. Beautiful. So let's dive in. Obviously, content is a huge area. And when it comes to marketing, content, you do know content is everything. It's all the different types of activities that we do is all content. And business owners, they can waste a lot of time second guessing themselves. I mean, you talked about imposter syndrome before, and I think there's a lot of that with content. But I know there's other factors too. So why do you think it is that people spend so much time not knowing where to start, not knowing what to do?
There's a lot of time wasting guesswork in content without a plan and a really simplified way to look at who you're talking to and what do they need from you right now.
Yeah.
Like that's as simple as it can get. I think what happens is people over-engineer marketing. They think they've got to have top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom funnel, bloody, all these different things, and they over-engineer it and worry about all these different things. And honestly, you let a marketing agency worry about that if they wanted to set up sales funnels for you, or you're going to pay for ads. But generally, if you just want to reach out to the people that are on the social media platforms that you find you have the capacity for and the interest in, and that your ideal clients are hanging out there, then it really is just as simple as, what do you want to be known for?
Yeah.
What do they need from you right now? Like, how much do you know about them?
Yeah.
What characteristics, how much do you love them? What do they need from you is usually one of the first questions I ask. Because otherwise we get tied in knots about content pillars and just all this stuff that complicates it, and it really doesn't have to be that complicated.
Yeah. And I guess, there's so much noise in market as well. And obviously that kind of makes people second guess themselves or stalls people is, you kind of read one article or you follow one person and you think, yep, this is what I've got to do. And then someone else says something else and oh no, throw that out. This is what I've got to do. Like there's just so many opinions as well.
It's really noisy and unnecessary. So don't follow lots of marketers. Because we're all going to have a slightly different opinion. Find something that works and stick with it. And really, you've just got to stop following, platform experts, because it actually takes away some of the enjoyment of actually being on that platform, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That you're bombarded with marketing on that platform. Why can't I just enjoy the stuff I'm reading from other people, or the pretty pictures, or the reels, or whatever?
Oh, so true. And especially for people like us that are in the industry, the platform then suggests all this content to you that's about what you do every day. And the escapism goes, because you're no longer seeing your friends, or you're no longer seeing the brands that you want to buy from or engage with. You're just seeing all the stuff about your own industry.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, shut up, that's not true. And then I think, oh, do I have to answer? Am I supposed to respond? And then I step away, because it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If someone follows that person and they like talking about, top of funnel and that sort of garbage that makes everybody confused, then great. You listen to that. I honestly, I scroll past really quickly now. There'd be very few marketers that I religiously follow and really listen to.
And I wonder if that's probably insight, to whatever business you're in. And we always kind of say, like, glance at your competitors, but don't spend your whole time consuming their content. And it's probably true of all the different services and even kind of product industries, is if you spend all your time consuming that content, you're going to get confused about what your message is, what you should be doing, what your unique proposition is, and all those sorts of things as well.
Yeah, because you don't know what they actually want to achieve in their business.
Yeah.
So it might be something completely different.
Yeah.
I just want to work with great clients that I can plug into and support their internal marketing team, build their capability, help them with their strategy and help them implement it and build that, skills and capacity, that's a completely different outcome to someone who's trying to sell online courses in marketing or something.
Yeah.
So if you watch competitors too much without really understanding what their ideal client is all about and what they're trying to achieve in the business, you could be getting influenced by completely the wrong stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, so true. And where they are in their journey. I had a client the other day and she's starting a brand new product business, and I was talking about, being like a face of the business, putting your story into it if you can, and are you comfortable? And she said to me, well, Gucci don't do that. Gucci, they just have beautiful images and people buy from them. And, I just want it to be a really elevated brand. And I said, yeah, I get that. But Gucci's hundreds of, 10 decades ahead of you, and what they had to do then to get here now, and what worked, back in the early 1900s, and how you could build a brand is so different now. And I think that's the other thing, we get caught up in somebody's day 10,000 and we're at day one, and, and the landscape is so different. And I think you make that beautiful point. What is the objective of their business could be completely different to yours.
Yeah, exactly. So decide what you want to achieve and really sort of hold tight to that growth goal, whether that's a new market segment or a new product or service or offer.
Yeah.
Offer's probably a better word for service-based businesses. And create your goals around that. And that's where the marketing comes from rather than the other way around. Oh, I have to do these marketing activities. Well, do you though?
Yeah.
Like, do you really? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Yeah, totally. And I guess, how do you think, the target helps with that? Like knowing your target market and thinking about the target, how does that help?
Well, it's critical, isn't it? The two equally important aspects are, what do you actually want to be known for, which comes from that growth goal. What do I really want to do? Like, what am I really trying to achieve for my life, for my business, to use my skills? Like, what is the thing that I'm really passionate about, that I've got an opinion about, that I want to stance for, I want to be known for? But also, who is the human being that I am helping with that? Like, what problem am I solving for them? And really, what do they need? Who are they? So I just say, rather than thinking about the demographics, you've really got to think about, what are their characteristics? What is it about them that is super, super challenging or frustrating or really shitting them, keeping them awake at 2:00 in the morning, that fits in with my business objective? And I can fix that. So if you've got tech problems, I'm not the person who's ever going to fix them with my business. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not a characteristic. So I can't help you with that.
Yeah.
But I just look at what really, I do that on one page. Like, lots of stuff I do is just on one page. So I can see
love
it.
that.
And I just say, what are their most important challenges, problems, frustrations? And this is true in really, really big businesses and really small businesses.
Yeah.
It's this, you've got to know that stuff before you can do anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I always kind of think about it as like the intersection of your expertise and their biggest problem.
Yeah, that you really want to, that you feel passionate enough to build a business around.
Yeah.
Just because we can do it doesn't mean we should. But what is it that you really want to, trying to get somebody to narrow down what their actual offers are is sometimes really hard, because they can do all these things. And I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't mean you have to. What's the thing that's closest to the money, as well as, you actually getting that intrinsic sort of value and reward for doing really great work that you love? It's really funny that we just get caught up in so many different formulas and forget that a human being isn't about the demographics. Not really.
No. It's funny that you use that quote, because you won't be able to exactly see it, but right behind me, framed, is "just because you can doesn't mean you should." It's right there.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, there you go. There's a bit of
one of my favorite quotes. I
Kismet,
mean,
Kismet or something. What is that? Kismet, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so good. I literally did not, well, I obviously can't see it. It's tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny and my head's blocking it, but it's there. I have to remind myself of that all the time, because, clients want so many things and I can often do it, but it doesn't mean that it's the best, best use of my time, best use of, the team's expertise and really just learning that, you can't be all things to all people. And sometimes I think people try to take you down that path because it suits them.
And they trust you. They probably already,
of course.
You know what it's like. If they already trust you and you've done this other thing, well, can you write my website as well? Well, no, I don't do that anymore.
Yeah,
I don't, I'm the last person you want to do that because I will procrastinate and it won't get done. So let's find, let's do that together, or let's, let's work out how someone in your team can do it and I can support them, or, so that's that sort of done with you consulting sort of model rather than done for you, which is a difference too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess what outcomes do you see when business owners get that message right and they feel really confident with their content?
Well, they attract more great fit clients. So the people that are interacting with them or engaging, so they might get more engagement because they're less generic and more specific about the way that they're sharing their message.
Yeah.
They might be asking more questions or just using engagement in their content. They're going to actually find that people comment more or get engaged with their content more than they would have just if it's boring and generic and they don't even, literally anyone could have written that. I've said to a few people, who wrote that? Like literally anybody in your industry could have written that. Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Let's go back to being more specific to your, I guess to your niche, to the human that you are really, really trying to talk to. What is it that that bothers them? Let's answer those questions. Let's give them that support, and then encouraging them in whatever way the call to action, whatever you want, whether it's just come to the website and read more or follow us or whatever.
Yeah.
I find that they get more leads, but more quality leads rather than chasing all the time.
Yeah.
So that happens too. But yeah, we try and get measures in place. I'm not really analytics driven, but you sort of have to, don't you? You've really got to kind of measure, where are we at today? Where do we want to be? And sort of just be aware of what's working and what's not working, so you can start seeing who's interacting. Connecting with the right people. So the difference for me, for example, would have been being connected to loads and loads of copywriters because we were all in the same sort of community 10 years ago. And now I'm connected to, I can see who's looking at my profile and they're more senior executive managers or maybe a CEO or head of marketing or something. So it's showing that something is connecting, that they're understanding that the thought leadership sort of piece that I talk about is more for them. And I think you'll really, and it feels good. It feels good when you're writing or creating stuff that you really do, at its heart of hearts, it's actually really useful for someone that needs it.
Yeah. And I imagine, again, there's a certain efficiency when you're so certain in what you want to get out there, why you want to get it out there, that you're not wasting all that time drafting, trying to make it retrofit it to sound like you and all that sort of stuff.
That's exactly spot on. And honestly, all you really need is a statement. That proposition statement, whatever your proposition is, if your content proves it, then that's the litmus test. You honestly don't really need much else. And I've got a few clients with all sorts of different propositions, and that they want to agitate and educate, facilitate change in their industry through greater understanding of whatever their jam is that they want to talk about. And is your content proving that you are an expert and an authority in your industry? That your opinion counts, that you're making you offering decent commentary on something that's important to people. If I honestly, sometimes just that statement is enough. I say, have you checked against the statement? People will go, oh, is this good? Is this a good idea for content? And I go, what do you think I'm going to say? Oh, well, yeah. Is it proving our proposition? Yes, it is. Okay, well then it's fine.
Yeah.
It can be that simple if you've done a bit of the other work, as you know, with you probably need a bit of SEO and a bit of other planning underneath it, but you shouldn't have to check against all those details all the time.
No,
Not if you know your
exactly
audience. Not if you know your audience.
Yeah. And I think that helps again with the imposter syndrome, with the comparisonitis, like with all of it, because when you're really certain, you're really confident.
And you can just say, it's, tick.
Yeah.
Yep, I've satisfied my mission here with this content. I don't have to think about it again. I'm going to put it out in the universe. I've enjoyed creating it, which is half the fun. Most people like the creating bit and don't necessarily love the posting and the following up bit. But, that's why you need to post as fast as you can after you've created something, I reckon. Because, then it's out there and you can, how people interact with it is kind of none of your business.
Yeah.
Like you can't control what people do,
Correct.
On social platforms.
And good content filters out wrong people. And I think you touched on that before, good aligned content is also about filtering out the people that disagree with you or the people don't align with you. You probably don't want to do business with them anyway. So, great content will be filtered out along the way.
Yep. So if I say one of my opinions is that you must never outsource your content creation ever. You should control it in-house. That's your IP. You should have the capacity and the capability to do it in-house, or you have a consultant, or you have a smaller agency person in your, like, learning your business really well.
Yeah.
Outsource your ads. Outsource ads and SEO and, but in-source, keep control of that. Now, I know so many businesses that don't want, that really want to give away their marketing entirely.
Yeah.
And I know that I can't work with them. I'm not interested in working with those clients.
Yeah.
I'm not going to help those clients by taking on, by sending them to a local SEO person who they think is going to do all their marketing.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that might be okay for you. You could do that, but I'm not involved in that process. So I would select, they would self-select out if my content is talking about how to build that in-house sort of capability in one of your team members or whatever, to take over that really important job of content creation.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's just one little example.
Yeah, and that's a great example. And again, it's about alignment. They're the people you want to work with. They're the people you can help the most. The people that don't want to do that, don't have the capacity, are better aligned to listen to and engage with someone else. So yeah, I love that. I think, I mean, as we know, you and I both know, content is everything. Content is king. It's the heart and soul of marketing now. And, I guess it always has been, but now the ways to amplify it are so much more one-to-one than ever before. And getting it right is pivotal to everything.
Yeah. And not everyone wants to be a thought leader. And I get that. But if you don't have an opinion or a stance and the authority and the expertise to back it up, and a personal brand to build, well, you'll work with somebody else, and that's absolutely fine. And so I think that you've also got to just be okay with knowing when you've sort of you're talking to somebody that just isn't a good fit. It's not always easy, but it gets easier as you get more confident in what you stand for, I think, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And as you grow and you work out what you want more of and what you want less of, for sure. Amazing. Oh, thank you so much, Jenny. It's been such a great chat. I think it's so, we spend a lot of time talking about the execution. I think we don't spend enough time talking about, what sits underneath that, the messaging and the foundation and the strategy. So it's been such a great conversation today. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. And I love people. It feels quite powerful when you really have that message clarity. This is what I stand for. This is who I'm helping. This is the only person I care about in my content today.
Yeah.
Who needs my help today is something that if people are blocked, I say, just say, who needs my help today? Like, what do they need today? And you might find that, it really does simplify everything. It just takes away that pressure of rules. And I'm like, no, just give yourself permission to just help, just think about that one person and really think about how you can influence and help that person. It makes for much more genuine content, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic. And where can people connect with you?
Probably LinkedIn is the best place to make sure we're connected. So you can follow people, as you know, on LinkedIn, but connecting is good too. And most of the, if I've got sort of a community free group or something floating around, you'll see it advertised on there. And there's a few, my one-page planning freebie is on my Talking Digital website. I just love visual planning. I think it's really powerful for a lot of people that just can't read spreadsheets like me.
Yes.
Who are in the moment and just want to be here, rather than getting buried in detail, then you'll probably like some resources there as well. But yeah, connecting on LinkedIn is probably the best place first up.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, I'll pop a link to your LinkedIn in the show notes, and I'll also pop a link to your website. Thank you so much again. It's been lovely chatting with you today. And to everybody else, I'll speak to you again soon. Hey, thanks for listening to another episode. If you don't want to miss one, make sure you subscribe to the show in your podcast app. And if you love it, be sure to share it with friends and colleagues who you think could benefit from increasing their digital marketing confidence. Want more? Head to maryanneamies.com to find out how you can work with me directly, to reach out to have me speak at your event, or to grab yourself some free resources.